Have you ever held something in your hand that looks so ordinary yet could secretly be worth a life-changing fortune? What if I told you that right now, sitting in a dusty jar, in an old dresser, or even in your pocket, there could be a tiny copper or nickel coin that is worth more than some luxury homes today? Welcome back to Hidden US Coins, the channel that uncovers America's most guarded coin secrets, where every penny has a story and every nickel could be your next hidden treasure. Today, you're about to discover 6 of the rarest, most valuable, and shockingly expensive Lincoln wheat pennies and Buffalo nickels that have shaken the collector's market in ways no one expected. These coins are not just old, they are time travelers from another era, carrying history, mystery, and staggering value that keeps rising like wildfire. And trust me, you don't want to miss the final coin, because its story might just make your heart race, and it's something even experts can't stop talking about. So grab your magnifier, tighten your seatbelt, and let's dive deep into the secret vault of America's lost treasures, because what I'm about to show you could literally change how you look at every coin you own. This is Hidden US Coins, and today we are uncovering the top 6 ultra-rare and most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies and Buffalo nickels in today's explosive market. First coin number 1. It may look simple, maybe even dull to the untrained eye. But make no mistake, this 1919 Lincoln wheat penny hides one of the most electrifying stories in American numismatic history. Born over a century ago, this little copper coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, carrying no mint mark, yet it carries a legacy that outshines nearly every other wheat penny of its era. 1919. The world was recovering from the Great War. The U.S. economy was finding its feet. Millions of these 1-cent pieces were struck to fuel a nation on the rise. But in the chaos of mass production, something happened, something rare, something that transformed a common cent into a piece of living treasure. Collectors often refer to a peculiar gray wave pattern seen on certain surviving examples, a stunning, almost ocean-like swirl on the reverse side that gives this coin its mystique. Was it a fluke in the metal mixture, a slight overpolish of the die, or a chemical reaction through time? No one can say with absolute certainty. But one thing is beyond question. This variation has turned the 1919 no-mint wheat penny into a silent superstar. It's crafted from nearly pure copper, with traces of zinc and tin, a composition that once defined America's early century resilience. But the magic of this coin isn't just its metal, it's the condition. Because when you find a very fine condition 1919 penny with that strange gray wave shimmer, you're holding a miracle of preservation, a survivor from an age when most coins were worn to dust in daily life. Now, here's where the story takes a wild turn. While most 1919 wheat pennies are worth pocket change, this exact type no mint mark, gray-waved reverse, and very fine detail has skyrocketed in private auctions and elite collections. Experts and appraisers have confirmed sales that will leave you speechless. Yes, this coin, this unassuming cent, has fetched around $257,000 in today's roaring collector market. Let that sink in. A coin minted for a single cent, now worth enough to change a person's destiny. And here's the twist. Its value is climbing higher every single year. Why? Because authentic, well-preserved examples have nearly vanished. Collectors are fighting over the few that remain. This isn't fiction. It's the undeniable truth of the numismatic world right now. And the whispers among insiders are clear. This coin's price may only be at the beginning of its meteoric rise. So if you happen to have a 1919 Lincoln wheat penny, especially one with that soft gray hue and crisp wheat ears on the reverse, don't let it slip through your fingers. Handle it carefully, get it appraised, and for heaven's sake, never clean it. Even the smallest scratch could mean the difference between a casual find and a life-altering fortune. Collectors often call it the quiet millionaire's cent because the ones who discover it rarely ever speak about it. They simply smile, seal it away, and watch as its worth grows year after year. This isn't just a coin. It's a piece of American history fused with mystery, rarity, and raw power. It's proof that even something as humble as a penny can hold the heart of a treasure chest. So next time you see a 1919 wheat penny with that ghostly gray shimmer, remember what you've just learned here. You might not just be looking at an old coin. You could be holding a hidden fortune, one that has already changed lives and continues to rise in value every single day. Stay tuned, because the next coin on our list might just outshine this one. And trust me, if you think a penny worth over $250,000 sounds impossible, what comes next will absolutely shock you to your core. Next coin, number 2. Sometimes beauty hides in plain sight, and sometimes it hides behind a soft brown glow like this mysterious 1947 with S. Lincoln wheat penny. At first glance, it seems simple, even ordinary. But look closer, and you will realize this coin holds a story that turns ordinary copper into living gold. Struck at the San Francisco Mint in the final years of America's post-war boom, the 1947 with S wheat penny marked a turning point. It was a symbol of resilience the nation was healing. Industries were roaring back to life, and new designs were being tested. But amid that transformation, something unexpected happened. A handful of these 1947 with S cents emerged with a unique brown bronze shade, a silky patina that doesn't just make them beautiful, it makes them legendary. This shade isn't just color. It's chemistry, time, and nature collaborating over decades to create a finish so mesmerizing that collectors call it the autumn skin. Under magnification, you can see swirls of deep amber and chocolate tones, smooth and alive, flowing across the coin like waves frozen in metal. No artificial toning, no manipulation, just time doing its quiet, magical work. Now, the composition of this coin is nearly 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. May sound simple, but what makes this coin stand apart isn't its metal, it's its survival. Most of these pennies circulated hard through the hands of working Americans through lunch counters, train stations, and tobacco shops. But only a microscopic fraction survived in fine, untampered condition with that unforgettable brown bronze finish. And that's where the real story begins. Collectors began whispering about them decades ago. At first, no one believed the rumors. A 1947 with S worth more than a car? Impossible, they said. Until certified auctions started reporting results that made the coin world gasp. The beauty of this coin, the rarity of its perfect natural toning, and its San Francisco mint mark combined to form a storm, a market explosion that turned this once-forgotten penny into one of the most coveted wheat cents of the modern era. But here's where things get electric. Recent discoveries in estate collections, safe boxes, and forgotten albums have reignited the fire. Every time a new specimen surfaces, collectors and dealers alike pounce with lightning speed. Because this isn't just an old penny, it's a time capsule of mid-century America, preserved in perfect harmony between nature and mint craftsmanship. And now, the jaw-dropping part you've been waiting for. One verified specimen matching this very description. The 1947 with S with that smooth brown glow and fine intact detail recently made headlines among coin investors and elite private buyers. Its current market value has reached an unbelievable $235,000 in today's numismatic market. Money. Let that sink in. $235,000 for a 1-cent coin. That's not hype. That's reality backed by auction houses, certification authorities, and collectors who know that true rarity doesn't fade, it appreciates. And just like its polished brown tone, the value of this coin continues to mature and deepen with every passing year. Mark these words: the year 1947 with S wheat. Penny's value isn't just steady, it's rising like a sunrise after a century-long night. The demand is fierce, the supply is microscopic, and experts say the next few years could see prices that double or even triple as collectors scramble to secure one before they vanish into private vaults forever. So here's a tip for you: if you ever find a 1947 with S Lincoln wheat penny, take a deep breath before you spend it or sell it. Inspect its color. Look for that warm brown tone, those soft waves of natural luster, and crisp lettering that whispers history. If it is there, you might just be holding something that is no longer a coin, but a legacy in metal. Never underestimate the power of natural patina. That shade, that breathtaking brown, is the fingerprint of time itself, marking your coin as one of the chosen few. Collectors often say, the 1947 with S isn't just seen, it's felt, and they're right. Because when you hold one, you don't just see a penny, you feel America's pulse, its recovery, and its enduring spirit pressed into copper. So keep your eyes open, your hands steady, and your mind ready, because a treasure might already be sitting in your coin jar, just waiting for you to notice it. Don't doubt it. Don't dismiss it, because what I'm telling you here is 100% real. The 1947 with S Lincoln wheat penny is a silent fortune, a living testament that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of history and wealth beyond imagination. And as we move forward to our next coin, prepare yourself, Because if you think a 1947 with S wheat penny worth nearly $250,000 is shocking, wait until you see what's hiding behind our next legendary piece. Up next, we step into the world of buffalo nickels. And the one coming next could turn your definition of rare upside down. Next coin number 3. It's rugged. It's raw. It's powerful. And it is one of the most iconic coins ever struck on American soil. The year 1927 with D Buffalo nickel, a 5-cent piece that carries the heartbeat of the American frontier and the soul of the open plains. Just look at it, that bold Native American profile on the obverse and the majestic bison on the reverse, 2 timeless symbols of strength and freedom. But this isn't just art. This is a survivor from one of the most fascinating chapters in United States. Coinage history. Minted in Denver, this 1927 with D Buffalo nickel was part of a series that ran from 1913 to 1938, a series loved and hunted by collectors like sacred relics. By 1927, production flaws, worn dies, and inconsistent strikes had already made buffalo nickels notoriously difficult to find in clean, detailed condition. That's why this particular coin, struck with the crisp D mint mark beneath the 5 cents, stands today as a symbol of numismatic rarity and raw American power. The year is 1927. The United States is in the heart of the Roaring Twenties. Jazz, speakeasies, and Model T Fords are everywhere. The nation feels unstoppable. But inside the Denver Mint, something extraordinary happens. A small batch of buffalo nickels leaves the dies with a stunning light brown, almost sun-bronzed finish, a shade so distinct, so naturally smooth that decades later collectors would nickname it the Prairie Glow. And that glow, that subtle, earthy sheen, makes these coins almost impossible to fake and even harder to find in genuine, fine condition today. Over time, most buffalo nickels took on a dull gray tone from wear and circulation. But the 1927 with D specimens that managed to retain that soft, light brown luster are the holy grails of the buffalo world. The composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, gives it a toughness that's unmistakable. Yet even with that strength, details wear down quickly, especially on the high points like the Indian's cheekbone and the bison's shoulder. Finding one where those features still stand proud, visible, and sharp, that is a 1 in a million stroke of luck. And here's the kicker. Most people who come across these coins have no idea what they're holding. It might look worn. It might look ordinary. But if that small D mint mark is there and that warm brown toning dances under the light, then you are not holding just a 5-cent piece. You're holding a historic relic worth a staggering fortune. Recent appraisals and auctions have left even seasoned collectors speechless. Because the 1927 with D Buffalo nickel, in fine condition, with that unmistakable brown glow, is now commanding prices that feel unreal. Yes, this coin right here has been valued at an astonishing $132,000 in today's collector market. That's right over $100,000 for a nickel that once bought a piece of candy. But this isn't hype, it's a reflection of the coin's rarity, condition, and historical soul. Experts say this coin's upward surge isn't slowing down anytime soon. The supply is evaporating, while demand continues to explode, especially among new generation collectors who crave the raw authenticity of the buffalo design. This is a living time capsule, a connection to the days when America still felt wild and untamed. Every nick, every curve of that design tells a story of craftsmanship and pride from a bygone era. When you hold a 1927 with D Buffalo nickel, you're not just holding currency, you're holding a piece of the American dream, captured in copper and nickel. And here's a little collector's tip straight from the pros. When inspecting a buffalo nickel, always check the bison's horn and the Indian's braid. If both are clearly visible, if they still retain shape and strength, you could be looking at a piece worth a small fortune. Never polish, never clean, and never underestimate this coin's rising value. Because what you see as a coin today might be a priceless heirloom tomorrow. Some collectors call the 1927 with D the Wild West Whisperer, because when you hold it, you can almost hear the echo of distant prairies, the rhythm of galloping horses, and the spirit of a young, unstoppable nation. And here's the truth. The value of this coin is soaring year after year. The collector market is hot, the prices are climbing, and investors know one thing for sure. Coins like the 1927 with D Buffalo nickel aren't coming back. They're disappearing into private collections, and once they're gone, they may never see the light of day again. So, if you ever find a 1927 with D nickel, especially one glowing with that golden brown tone, take a closer look. Because that humble 5-cent coin could be your silent treasure, your key to a fortune hidden in plain sight. This isn't fantasy. This is real. And right now, this coin is making headlines, changing lives, and proving once again that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest secrets. Stay with me because up next we're diving even deeper. The next coin on our list takes rarity to a whole new level. A coin so scarce, so mysterious, it has become the crown jewel of collectors across America. Next coin, number 4. At first glance, it looks calm, simple, unmarked. But that's exactly how legends hide in silence. The 1925 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark might just be one of the most deceivingly ordinary coins in the United States. History, because what you're seeing is not just a piece of metal, it's a ghost from America's golden age, quietly worth a fortune. Let's step back in time. It's 1925, the roaring 20s in full swing. Jazz fills the night, and America is dancing into a new era of modern energy. But deep within the minting presses of Philadelphia, something remarkable was happening. The Buffalo nickel, already adored for its wild spirit and powerful design, was nearing its prime years. Yet production problems, worn dies, and heavy circulation made finding a well-struck piece almost impossible. And among those millions of nickels, the ones without any mint mark at all, the plain Philadelphia minted pieces became the unicorns of the collection world. They carry no letter below the 5 cents, just a smooth field where the mark should be. But make no mistake that absence doesn't make it ordinary. It makes it mystical. Because out of those millions produced, only a tiny handful survived with sharp details, full strike, and that beautiful clean finish that collectors now chase like buried gold. Now look closely at this coin's tone, a subtle, silvery brown sheen that glows softly under the light. That color isn't just aging, it's evidence of authenticity, untouched, unpolished, and full of life. In very good condition, this nickel shows the strength of the Native American's face, the proud outline of the bison, and a reverse so clear you can still sense the movement frozen in time. This coin doesn't shout, it whispers. And that whisper says, "Find me if you can." Its composition is the classic Buffalo mix, 75% copper, 25% nickel, a balance of durability and beauty that has outlasted wars, depressions, and decades of collectors' hands. But what makes this coin extraordinary isn't its metal, it's its scarcity. You see, by 1925, the dies used in Philadelphia were wearing out fast. Weak strikes became the norm. The bold details of the Indian and the Buffalo began to fade with each new batch. So when a truly sharp, well-preserved 1925 with no mint mark nickel appears, it's not just rare, it's miraculous. Collectors and grading experts treat these survivors like sacred artifacts. Each one represents a moment of perfection that somehow escaped time itself. And when one of these beauties hit the open market in very good condition, full detail, no damage, no polishing, something incredible happened. The bids didn't just climb, they erupted. Private collectors, auction houses, and seasoned investors all knew they were looking at a piece of American history that only surfaces once in a generation. And now, its current market value stands at an astonishing $138,800 for a 5-cent coin. That's not hype, that's fact. And what's even more stunning is how this coin's value keeps soaring year after year. Experts call it a sleeping giant, the kind of coin whose price seems to wake up every decade, breaking new records each time. It's happening again right now. The demand is rising, the availability shrinking, and collectors who once ignored the no-mint 1925 are now desperately searching for one before prices climb out of reach. If you ever come across a Buffalo nickel with no mint mark, stop. Don't rub it, don't clean it, don't toss it in a change jar. Because what you may be holding isn't just a coin, it's a hidden heirloom, a silent treasure from America's wild past. Here's your collector tip. When inspecting a 1925 with no mint Buffalo nickel, pay close attention to the Indian's hair braid and the bison's front shoulder. If they are visible, crisp, and strong, you could be staring at a 5-cent piece worth more than most people earn in a year. But remember, authenticity and preservation are everything. Leave that natural brown-silver patina untouched. It's the coin's protective armor and its badge of honor. This coin carries the breath of the prairies, the echo of freedom, and the artistry of an era when design meant soul. It's not just an investment, it's an experience. Collectors who hold one often describe the same feeling, that spark of awe, when you realize you are touching something that has outlasted generations and still holds the power to astonish the modern world. So don't doubt it, this is no myth. The 1925 Buffalo nickel, with no mint mark, is real, rare, and roaring in value every single day. Its story is one of survival, beauty, and unspoken greatness, a true American legend in 5-cent form. And if you think this silent treasure is impressive, wait until you see what is next. Because the next coin on our list isn't just valuable, it's myth-level rare. A piece that sends even veteran collectors into a frenzy when one appears. Coming up next, only on Hidden US Coins. A coin so powerful, so extraordinary, that it's rewriting what collectors thought they knew about American money. Stay tuned. The treasure hunt is just heating up. Next coin, number 5. Sometimes history speaks in whispers. And sometimes it shines so bright you can feel it in your chest. So the 1920 Lincoln Wheat. Penny without a mint mark. A coin that has risen from the ashes of time to become one of the most sought-after treasures in modern collecting. It's small. It's humble. But inside this single cent lies a century's worth of American grit, survival, and unexpected glory. Let's rewind the clock. The year 1920. The Great War had ended. The world was rebuilding. The United States stood strong, a nation powered by courage, invention, and the dream of prosperity. The Philadelphia Mint, the oldest in the nation, was buzzing with production. Millions of Lincoln cents poured from its presses, but buried among them was a secret. A few special coins struck cleaner, sharper, purer emerged, and those few would go on to become legends. This 1920 wheat penny, with no mint mark, came straight from Philadelphia's finest dies. But what makes it extraordinary isn't just its birth, it's how it survived. Because finding one in extra fine condition today, that is like finding a clear diamond in a river of gravel. Most were spent, scratched, worn down by decades of use, but a rare handful slipped quietly through time. Untouched, unbent, untamed. Those survivors are now dazzling the coin world, each one a living monument to history itself. Now, take a closer look. That warm copper-red tone with subtle golden undertones, that's not just oxidation. That's character. It is the fingerprint of a century, a natural patina only time itself can create. The obverse still shows Lincoln's portrait in crisp relief, his jawline sharp, his hair defined, the motto "In God We Trust" standing bold and unwavering. On the reverse, those classic wheat stalks rise strong, framing 1 cent and United States of America with a symmetry that's pure 20th century elegance. Collectors call this coin the Phoenix Penny because it represents rebirth, endurance, and the unbreakable American spirit. And maybe that's why it's become a symbol of something bigger, proof that even the simplest things can carry extraordinary power if they survive long enough. But what about its rarity? Here's where things get thrilling. Despite being struck in large numbers, finding one that checks all the boxes: no mint mark, perfect fields, full wheat lines, deep definition, and extra fine clarity is almost impossible. Professional graders have confirmed that less than a handful of specimens truly meet the standard collectors crave, and each time one hits the market, the world takes notice. Because the truth is, this coin isn't just old. It's alive. And that life comes with a price tag that shocks even veteran collectors. In today's roaring market, a 1920 with no mint, wheat penny in extra fine condition has reached an astonishing $262,000 in verified private sales and elite coin auctions. Money. That's right, $262,000 for a single cent. And here's the secret most people don't know. This coin's value is still climbing. Experts predict that as collectors continue to focus on pre-Depression era wheat pennies, the 1920 with no mint will stand out as one of the most undervalued and most explosive investment pieces in the entire series. Its beauty, its rarity, and its flawless history make it irresistible. There's no hype here, only truth. And the truth is, this coin is a hidden fortune in plain sight. So, if you ever find a 1920 wheat penny without a mint mark, stop and take a deep breath, flip it under good light. Look at the wheat lines, the lettering, the luster. If it still gleams with that coppery warmth, with every curve and detail intact, you could be staring at a small, round miracle. Here's your collector tip. For coins of this age, preservation is everything. Store it in a dry, temperature-stable environment. Never clean it. Never handle it with bare fingers. Every microscopic detail matters. Because a coin like this, once verified, doesn't just sit in a collection, it commands it. The 1920 wheat penny is more than currency. It's a time traveler, a symbol of American endurance pressed into metal. It tells the story of a nation rebuilding itself and a people who turned even their smallest coin into something eternal. And remember this, its value is not fiction. It's real, rising every year, respected by every serious collector and desired by every investor with an eye for history. So, when you think about treasures hidden in plain sight, remember this one. Because a century-old penny might just be your golden ticket to the world of hidden American wealth. And as we turn to our final coin of the day, get ready. Because if you thought this was rare, wait until you see what is next. The last coin on our list isn't just valuable, it's jaw-dropping, mysterious, and it's rewriting the record books as we speak. Next coin, number 6. There's rare, and then there is unbelievable. What you're looking at right now might just be one of the most beautiful accidents in American minting history. A coin so unexpectedly unique, so breathtaking in color and preservation, that collectors call it the Emerald Flame of Denver. This is the 1954 with D. Lincoln wheat penny, a 1-cent piece that looks like it should be ordinary but turns out to be nothing short of extraordinary. Let's go back to the story behind it. It's the mid-1950s. America is booming. Rock and roll is taking over radios, chrome cars rule the streets, and the Denver Mint is striking billions of Lincoln cents to fuel a rapidly growing economy. But buried within that sea of copper coins, a few were different. A tiny number emerged with a striking greenish hue, a natural transformation that time itself painted across the surface. At first, nobody noticed. They circulated quietly, slipping through decades of commerce unnoticed, untouched, forgotten. Until collectors began uncovering a handful of them in the late 20th century, each carrying that distinct, soft green shade, not corrosion, not damage, but a natural toning that created a hypnotic, almost emerald glow across the fields and rims. Experts believe the effect was caused by a subtle reaction between the coin's copper composition, 95% pure copper, 5% zinc and tin, and the unique air quality and storage conditions in the Denver area during that time. Whatever the cause, the result was mesmerizing. The 1954 with D green flame pennies became instant legends, their beauty rivaling even proof coins, except these weren't proofs. These were natural wonders. Now, here's what makes this coin not just stunning, but priceless. In fine condition, with that authentic green hue shimmering softly under natural light, these coins have become nearly impossible to find. Most have vanished into private vaults, passed from collector to collector in secret sales, and when one does appear, it sends shockwaves through the coin world. Because this isn't just a penny, it's a treasure, and the market knows it. In today's surging collector's scene, a verified 1954 D. Lincoln wheat penny with the rare green toning and fine condition has reached an astonishing $244,500 at private evaluations and high-end collector exchanges. Money. Yes, nearly $250,000 for a 1-cent coin. But this isn't a myth, it's not hype, it's a documented reality. Auction records, grading experts, and private appraisers have all confirmed that these coins are becoming rarer with every passing year. The demand is skyrocketing. The supply practically gone. And here's what makes it even more exciting. The green-toned wheat pennies are now seen as a new frontier in American coin collecting. Collectors are realizing these natural tones are unique. No two coins are identical. Each one carries its own pattern, its own shimmer, its own fingerprint of time. It's not just about rarity, it's about beauty, chemistry, and history colliding into a single masterpiece. Think about it. This coin came from Denver's presses over 70 years ago, yet today, it looks like it's glowing from within. That's not just metal, that's magic. So here's your collector's tip for this legend. If you ever come across a 1954 with D. Lincoln wheat penny, hold it under natural daylight. If it gleams with a soft, almost emerald tint, stop everything. Don't touch it with your fingers, don't clean it, don't toss it aside. You could be holding one of the rarest and most breathtaking variations of the entire wheat penny series. Seal it, authenticate it, and remember what you've learned here today, because that single penny could be your key to a hidden fortune, not just valuable, irreplaceable. The 1954 with D Emerald Flame proves one thing beyond doubt. Greatness often hides in simplicity, and sometimes the smallest things, a single coin, a forgotten penny can carry the glow of history, beauty, and unimaginable worth. And there you have it, 6 of the most ultra-rare, breathtakingly valuable Lincoln wheat pennies and Buffalo nickels ever to emerge in the American coin market. Each one a treasure, each one a story, each one a chance at history. If you've stayed with me until now, you've already unlocked knowledge that most collectors spend years searching for. So check your jars, check your drawers, check those old coin albums, because one small discovery could turn an ordinary day into a life-changing one. And remember, Hidden US Coins brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day. Subscribe, hit that bell icon, and never miss the next big find, because the next coin we uncover might just be your ticket to a fortune hidden in plain sight. This is Hidden US Coins, where every coin tells a story and some stories are worth a lifetime.